Bow. What's up? Welcome back to the We Likey That podcast, episode number 11. We in the stew, 11. We're officially into the double digits, like we did 10. Yeah. Now we're at 11. Like we've passed the milestone.
Yeah.
This feels like when you turn 22. You know what I mean? Like you turn 21, electric, awesome, hype. 22, you're like, oh. It's
like
not
21
the same.
to like 25 or 26.
Well, I mean, 25, you can rent a car.
Rent a car, yeah. Like so that gap.
People say that like that's an exciting thing. There's so few times when I need to rent cars.
But it's nice to have in your pocket. But you know,
it is.
I ain't rented many cars.
But Mulvey, you've rented a car. You rented a car when you were in Oregon, but you did it underage, right?
Yeah, you can do it.
Because it's just an extra fee.
It's extra fee, yeah.
It's extra fee. So technically you can rent a car before from 21 on.
Pay for extra insurance, yeah.
So really all the birthdays are over for us, metaphorically.
It's all downhill after 21, yeah.
I think when you hit 50, it's kind of magical because like you're halfway, which not even really halfway, you're over. 35 is halfway statistically. So
yeah, for men, for sure.
Anybody out there that's close to 35, don't think too hard about that one.
Just live your life to the fullest. You don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah. You're running out. That being said, welcome back to the stew here with Mulvey. Mulvey, you had a tough weekend, huh? With the fights.
Well, yeah, it was chaos, and I made a whole video. Almost as soon as I put that video out, everything changed about that card. So that was pretty cool. I was like, oh,
as soon as he posted, everything changed.
Everything changed. That's topical.
So that's pretty cool. But the fights I did pick in the second one, I got most of them right. So
good job. You are
better than
good.
Me, my friend.
I was about to say, Mulvey is very good at picking fights. On the opposite end of that spectrum, Cam, how's your weekend been?
It was a rough weekend. I can't lie. Okay. We're hurt, but we're not injured just yet. We're playing a little hurt.
Would you say cashing for Cam is 0 for 2 currently overall record?
No, so the first week you can't call it a loss. It was just it was an intro.
0-1-1.
Week 1. Yeah.
This week we lost a couple. We lost a couple units this week. Okay.
0-1-1.
We
you haven't won one yet. But you haven't
no dubs.
Lost both.
That just means we're due, though. Okay,
that's right.
So
that's right. Gotta be.
You're bringing out the Cash with Cam personality. I'm about to start talking like I'm doing there.
Talking like a gambler.
Okay, all right. That is for anyone that and I say on there all the time too. It's just like you don't catch yourself until you're talking to yourself. You don't realize how weird it is that you're talking to yourself and just saying the same things over and over.
I will say, as like a public speaker for my job, whenever I practice, I feel like a psychopath because I have a completely different voice that I put on when I'm on stage. Right. And so it's like we're code switching, right? Mm-hmm. Is that a thing? That's not racist, right? I don't think that's racist. I think it's code switching.
I don't know what you mean.
It's
never heard
that
expression.
You never heard code switching? So it's like, I'm going to use the example that's racial because it's easiest to explain, but it's like if a black guy used a certain accent, like what would be considered maybe like a more urban accent style of speech with a group of his black friends. And then when he got with his white friends, he talked like you and me and Mulvey. Well,
it's like the movie where the guy's the
code switching
telemarketer and he uses
exactly
his white voice
that
to sell all the products.
Sorry to bother you. Mm-hmm. Watch that movie. You should watch it. It's exactly as advertised. You're going to expect everything in that movie.
No twist at the end.
No twist. No twist. So that being said, I think I had a good week this week as far as me not picking anything. I did take some of Cam's picks on the sports gambling, but I was pretty well off. Like I took Mississippi State one because I actually knew information about that as well as the Florida one. So go Dogs. Number we're probably top 10.
We got to be 25. Podcast. We got to be number 25 this week, Mississippi State, right?
I would be fine with that. We got
2 Power 5 wins.
Do you have 2 Power 5 wins? Is Memphis Power 5? I guess I thought they were like Conference USA.
Oh, no. I guess American's not Power 5. Never mind.
No. So we have one Power 5 win.
1.5 Power 5. We have a Power 10.
I will say Mississippi State played Arizona this weekend. I did make the unfortunate mistake. I was still thinking of Arizona from like 2010 when Arizona was good.
No, they're still not good.
Turns out they went 1-11 last year.
Yeah, they're
and then
bad.
The year before that 2-10. So
that's some Southern Miss records right there, baby.
Yeah. Speaking of Southern Miss, that wasn't
how
fun.
sweaty was their coach? Good grief! Yeah. Miami was not. You weren't meant to wear a white button down with no undershirt in Miami, my guy.
I mean, it was made of tissue paper.
He looked like a mess.
Yeah.
Mulvey, how does it feel to root for the team that team's scheduled to get a win? You know what I mean? I don't know anyone who's rooting for Miami, Ohio, who played Kentucky in week 1. But,
right.
I realize now Southern Miss is that team for people. Mississippi State used to schedule them. Then we lost to them one year, which was embarrassing. But, it's
not great. It's not a great feeling and not fun to watch. You always just expect a loss.
The first 2 games of your season are essentially, crossed off.
Right.
They're just
money makers for us. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just unfortunate because the season before I went to Southern Miss is when they had Fedora and won 11 games, went to a good bowl, beat Houston, I think.
I think the fans should rally and just get your guy a polo shirt, just like a normal
sweater vest, man.
Yeah, I think maybe he would fare better. I think he probably loses his head a quarter when he's just drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
If you haven't looked up the Southern Miss coach on the sidelines this week, just Google that, and trust me, he bears all for everyone. You got to wear an undershirt.
He does, yeah. At least wear an undershirt.
I don't know what he explained it. His dad was a great coach and wore a suit, and was he's like, I swore if I ever became a head coach, I would respect them and wear a button up. It's just throw on a polo, man.
The greatest
respect
coach.
Yourself.
Yeah, the greatest coach in the world wears a hoodie with the sleeves cut off every time.
That's my exact
with sweatpants.
With sweatpants, it's not. No one's
Nick Saban's
impressed.
Wearing a polo,
don't be
Saban
that guy.
wears youth mediums, so they don't make
That's fair.
dress shirts like that for him.
All right.
He is a small guy.
Well, that was talking football with us football heads.
Yeah, that was a long time.
It was a long time. All right, we're gonna jump into our news headlines this week. Don't worry, I got some sports ones. I am right now, Cam and Mulvey. I actually wrote some for y'all. Mulvey, I didn't want you to feel left out, so I wrote you one this week. So I'm going to email it to y'all because I know that – wait, Cam, are you using your phone as your camera right now? Sorry, I'm revealing how the sausage is made.
I know I look crispy, but –
I'll text you yours then. And then, Mulvey, I'm going to email yours to you because you're difficult. All right?
Trying to be good.
So, Mulvey, I'm going to go ahead.
He's the quality assurance manager of the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
It's true. All right, Mulvey, I'm going to wait. Yeah, here you go, Cam. Okay, Cam, you want to read that for me?
All right.
Just from the top. You got it.
This past week, Rams quarterback Matt Stafford sold his $8 million home to upgrade to a larger one. Selling houses and throwing picks to embarrass yourself publicly in a horrible loss? Sounds like Matt Stafford could be one of the hosts of We Likey That. I.e. me. Losing bets. Selling houses. Selling houses to cover my losses.
So, Mulvey, I'm going to get you to read yours at the end because I'm really excited about that one. So I'm going to read – I got a couple headlines here. All right? Get ready. The kid from TikTok that did the corn memes has been everywhere recently. Y'all, you've seen this kid? It's corn. It was the vibey of the week.
He owns the internet right now.
Yes, it does. He recently was sponsored by Taco Bell. That's real. Wow. Sponsored by Taco Bell. They're doing like a new corn thing, corn salsa or something. Sponsored by Taco Bell. And I'm not proud of this joke. So I'm gonna go back. Kid from TikTok that did the corn meme has been everywhere recently and has even been sponsored by Taco Bell. I guess his new phrase is going to be, it's diarrhea.
It's diarrhea. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it.
I don't know where I was headed.
Whittlewy, my dad is the CEO of Taco Bell.
Whittlewy? An article recently published in the Chicago Times that biographed the life of notable Southside Chicago rapper Keith Farrell Cozart, a.k.a. Chief Keef, was released. When asked what he thought about the most difficult time in his life, Chief Keith responded by saying, every day has been hard for him. He said, this is a quote from the article, being Chief Keith is just hard. Hard to be Keith. That does sound hard. Anyway, no. Canadian Prime Minister.
Just keep it moving.
That's called a subversion.
That's nice. Snuck that one in there.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been under fire in recent years after pictures of him in blackface at a Halloween party came out. When asked in a recent interview with Trevor Noah what he would do differently, Justin Trudeau said he would have just dressed up as a cowboy. With how much the Cowboys have sucked over the last 2 decades, Justin Trudeau joins Toby Keith as only the second person in the last 20 years who thinks they should have been a cowboy.
Nice.
A double Toby.
Nice.
Wow. What
you weren't ready for the subversion.
Did he really do an interview with Trevor Noah?
For the purposes of this podcast, yes.
Obviously, no.
I was about to go watch that up.
So about half of these are fake. This is a real headline that really happened, though. This next one is. All right?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw this. I-55 in Memphis was shut down last week for 5 hours when a Prego truck turned over and covered the interstate with Alfredo sauce. Now, this joke is kind of like a choose your own adventure, okay? I'm going to answer both. I'm going to give 2 punchlines to this one.
Okay.
1 is fine. 2 is one that might be extra content in that we're going to have to cut it out. Okay. So I'm going to read the beginning again. I'm going to do the first punchline and then I'm going to do it again with the second one. Okay. And it may be, if you're listening to this podcast right now, it might be bleeped out. So if it is bleeped out, you can email us at welikeythatpod@gmail.com and I will send you the audio file, but you have to want it. Okay. All right. I-55 in Memphis was shut down last week for 5 hours when a Prego truck turned over and covered the interstate with Alfredo sauce. This is the most damage a white thing has done to Memphis since Luka Doncic put up 33 on the Grizzlies. Not proud of that one. We'll see. But
John Morant's coming.
Luka, famously white guy, playing against Memphis.
Very white. So, even European. He didn't even...
He's the most white.
Yeah, he's as white as you can get.
As you can get. Yep. Option 2. I-55 in Memphis was shut down last week for 5 hours when a Prego truck turned over and covered the interstate with Alfredo sauce.
Man.
Don't love that.
Oof. Yep, they were. Tragically. T's and P's.
T's and P's. Again,
for certain T's and P's.
So we're going to see if that one stays in. If it doesn't, and you're listening right now, you email us. I'll send you that there. Mulvey, what's your email?
I'm going to dox me real quick. Matty Mulvey, MATTYMULVI @gmail.com.
Perfect. Anyone wants to email him nudes?
It's gonna
don't
be guys
do that.
I don't want that.
Yeah. Send it to him.
MattyMulvey @gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's so easy.
Yeah, man.
I made a mistake. I have maybe the worst email address of anybody.
You took the common letters out.
I did. That's my newest email address. The one that's on most things is actually from 6th grade.
When you had to make one for that class?
Yes. And it's a Yahoo email address.
Yeah, I
and
still
it
have
is
that one.
Kurt_flame at yahoo.com.
That's your streamer name right there, Kurt Flame.
Yeah. It's tough. All right. Mulvey, you got that joke? Let me know when you got it pulled up.
Yeah, I got it.
This is hot radio right now. I am all in.
Yeah, this is
all right,
good. Good radio.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, wait. Did I just exit out? Oh, no. I actually expanded. Okay, I see. All right. Nothing. Don't worry about it, brother. All right. Scientists at MIT recently began working on creating an algorithm to dictate what parallel universes would be like. The theory says that parallel universes would be similar to ours. Yeah, I think. Oh, I got to scroll over. Sorry. The theory says that parallel universes would be similar to ours. However, certain events would have happened differently. On an unrelated note, if you're somehow in a parallel universe listening to this, you should go check out Mulvey's MMA Corner because the fights actually happened in our universe.
In your universe.
In my universe. It says in your universe.
Cam, you're not up to date on parallel universe theory?
That wasn't funny at all because I don't understand I don't understand what was funny. What was it?
In a parallel universe, the fights that Mulvey made a video for would have happened.
Oh,
however, in our universe, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Dang. See, I was too busy trying to read to actually pick up
on it. I think maybe if Mulvihill was a little smoother with the delivery, I would have.
Listen.
I didn't realize
if you're listening right now,
off my
and
page.
That was a banger.
Right now, and you're judging me because that was a crappy joke. I can't. Write your own. Send them in.
It was a good joke. It was a good joke. I just got lost in translation as I was trying to figure out what was happening.
I was along for a rocky road right there.
I messed up the reading.
I get it.
Realizing it was cut off.
I'm going to keep writing you jokes every week, Mulvihill, and eventually you're gonna roll through. The next I'm not blaming you for that one. I'm not happy with that joke. I don't like what I did either.
I screwed up the Tatis joke, so
the Tatis joke was top tier. All right, Cam, you got some news?
Yeah, man, I do, and it's been put together here in the last 10 minutes. So
good. That's gonna
probably be just as good as Kurt's.
I had a couple good ones. One of the best ones will not make it in here, but
you did. Nebraska Cornhuskers fire coach Scott Frost.
Rip.
When asked how he would get revenge on the Cornhuskers, Frost was quoted saying, "Me and my brother Jack will make sure not another stalk of corn is grown in this state after we unleash the great frost of 2022. Jack Frost."
Yeah, no, we got it. The Jack,
his brother Jack.
Me and my brother
I think
Jack.
This might be the only Jack Frost, the only Jack Frost joke that's ever been made.
You made history, bro.
It was low hanging fruit.
I was.
And you
I don't think it was. I don't think it was low hanging. I think it was high hanging fruit. I think you climbed a tree for it.
You giraffe that thing, cuz.
Either way, the corn will not be very prosperous in Nebraska this year. FBI file shows Bureau kept tabs on Aretha Franklin's activism, a common focus during the civil rights era. I guess you could say the FBI kept the RECE IPTs. The receipts.
Yeah, no.
In lieu of her song RESPECT.
Yeah. REC. Nice.
That one was good.
Yeah, those are two bangers.
The more that one marinates, the funnier it gets.
All right.
Oh, man.
Airbus canceled all of Qatar's A350 airliner orders in a rare move as the battle over paint issues continues. By my calculation, that's a total of 14 problems. Qatar 350 is 14 quarters.
Oh.
Three.
That was high level, brother.
Boy.
Yeah. I was Elastigirl reaching for that one.
That was probably the biggest stretch I've ever heard.
Quarter 350
Quarters
is 14.
Qatar, quarters.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I think Toby Keith was less of a stretch than that.
I'd have to say so.
Hey, well, if you thought that one was. Russian classical pianist Polina Osentinskaya had another concert canceled in her home country after she spoke out against Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Now, I don't think we should blame the Russians here, As little did Polina's parents know when naming her Polina Ostinskaya, it actually translated to, "We want much rather see country superstar Toby Keith." That's what it translates to. So no one can blame. No one can blame them for wanting to see. I mean, they think that her name means that everyone's trying to see Toby Keith.
It's like in Russian, her name means we would rather see country superstar Toby Keith.
Yeah, it just starts a rally cry when they hear her name.
Wow, electric! The Russian language is really
Toby
beautiful.
Keith. Yeah,
Toby. I would go venture to say Toby Keith might be one of the most hated people in Russia.
Yeah, he's an American soldier.
That's the most.
Yeah, he's an American soldier.
He's our Captain America. Yeah, like they use him for propaganda and everything. You know.
I listened to Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue today because we're recording this on
9/11. Never
9/11.
Forget. Always remember.
September 2011.
We're just some wee little lads. Didn't know what we were in for.
11 years ago today, it happened.
Not 11.
Times 2.
No. September 11th just turned 21, brother.
September 2011. That's 9/11.
How long will it go on?
Every time I do this joke, it gets the same response. People are disgusted by it.
I used it this morning, Kurt, and the guy just kind of looked at me like...
No one thinks it's funny. Yeah. It keeps happening now. Yeah. So, it's like the news every week. Welcome to Headlines. Mulvey, you got a crazy news article for us? Or what's the deal here?
Yeah, I saw a thing about, the James Webb Telescope, taking pictures of space and whatnot.
I'll say it. I'm not impressed by it. I think it's stupid. I don't think it's cool.
That's fair.
It doesn't look cool. No aliens were photographed. I want to see that.
They're not going to give us those up front. You know, that's got to get declassified, and
that's the premium content. You got to pay $2.99.
You got to get NASA's.
You got to get a sub for those.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they took pictures going back like about as far as we've ever seen, like 300 million years, I guess, after the Big Bang. Which is, anyways, when they looked back, they thought that it would be like not fully formed galaxies. Based off just like if it blew up in one spot and then it took it that long to travel, the light to travel to us, that's how time would have worked. But they're like fully formed, beautiful galaxies. So now they think they may not know what happened, which is pretty wild.
This is 2 weeks in a row you've brought a news story where basically scientists have figured out that history's been wrong up to this point. You realize
that's what
that,
I
right?
learn every day. Everything we've learned is wrong. That's just what I've learned. The more I learn, the less I know.
That is a wild story, Mulvey.
Thanks, baby.
Thank you for that. All right.
You're welcome.
I like the story. I did. On to likies and dislikies this week. Cam, you want to kick us off?
Let me look for one I've written down, honestly.
I'll kick us off.
Go ahead.
My likey this week is waking up to the smell of breakfast. On Saturday, I woke up, had breakfast cooking. It was awesome. I was very excited about it.
It's a good time.
It is good. Like, it gets you out of bed and it gets you less groggy because you're like, what's happening right now? My dislikey is a football game scheduled at 10 p.m. Did not like that one bit. Mississippi State played at 10 p.m. Central Time. I went to bed at 2:30. Not that I wouldn't have done that anyway, but I was watching the game until 2:30. And it was very late, and I did not like that. Very specific dislikes this weekend.
Yeah. Did you stay up for that, Cam, or did you go to bed?
Me and Kurt watched it together, basically.
We rode it.
We were there. We were there till 2 a.m.
Celebrate the dogs.
You got to ride for your dogs.
Was it worth it?
We won.
We covered.
Yeah.
Great teams covered.
Covered and won. So
covered and won. That's a mark of an excellent team.
Straight up.
Anyway,
House
right.
Brown right there.
I like that, Mulvey. I like you that.
I like you that, man. When you learn to make something new in the kitchen and you know it's going to be a staple, especially sauces. Okay, and this is a callback to a couple episodes ago. Cam was talking about Nukes putting cayenne pepper in the honey mustard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tonight, I learned how to make Nukes honey mustard, baby. Tasted just like
You stole the recipe?
I looked it up online, and they were like, do this. I did it, and it tastes just like it. So we made some
so
sandwiches.
that a copycat recipe is actually accurate. Because if you try to make any of the cane sauce recipes, it's like, what is this? This is just mayonnaise. Like it's
it never works.
That's awesome.
It literally tastes just like it. I made a club. It was phenomenal, and it's getting added in the rotation. You know what I mean?
I love that. Good for you.
It was cayenne pepper, and it was fire.
Yeah. Cam, that would kill Cam.
Hey, I love Nuke's honey mustard. Okay,
it's the best. It's good,
and it does kill me that I can't have it for every meal. You're right.
Yeah,
you can now.
Yeah, that's right.
Now you can. I'll send you the recipe. It took like 30 seconds to make, baby.
Please do.
Dislikey, love bugs, and now I know this is my second bug dislikey of the podcast.
You've been against bugs. I hate bugs
this
too.
One, but do y'all have love bugs season in Kentucky, or is that miss y'all?
Nah, I mean there's some love bugs, but ours
they're
is more...
like actually running into your face here. Like you could be walking at a slow pace, and you're gonna get one splattered on your forehead.
They're all over you. They're on every door. You can't wash your car because they're back covered all over it.
My mom said it's been brutal this season with love bugs. So.
Yeah, everyone's car looks like they just ran through a paintball range. People are just unleashing hell on their windshield. They have a lot of
guts in them for how
small
they are.
Yeah, they're very gutsy creatures.
Oh, y'all want to hear a dad joke? So every time during love bug season, when I'd ride with my dad, a love bug would hit the windshield, and he would say, "But he doesn't have the guts to do that again." Because his guts would be all over the windshield.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
Shout out Cam's dad listening to the show. What up?
Yeah.
He's a walking dad joke, baby.
Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of that. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my repertoire up as a dad.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got to start,
I know.
Coming with some
heat. I have a customer who comes in and has new jokes like that every time he comes in. His daughter ended up getting him a book of like 1,000 different ones. And he just brings in new ones.
Boy, I bet those sure are funny.
The ones in the books can't be funny.
He has some zingers.
How many times do you have to give the fake, like, oh, yeah, man?
Oh, all the time. That's all he does. Even if it was funny, that would be his only reaction.
Yeah, he comes in early too. But he does have some zingers, but yeah, especially that early in the morning, I'm faking everything. I'm just surviving.
That's fair. All right, Cam, we've given you time to prepare.
Yeah.
These better be bangers.
So mine is in kind of lieu of movies. When you cook for other people, and it turns out exactly how you would cook for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times like whenever you cook for other people, for whatever reason, you cannot replicate the meal that you so love.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's like I make smash burgers all the time on the Blackstone. I have people over, and all of a sudden, I'm serving them like raw hamburger meat. I'm like, I've done this a million times, I swear.
It's like you have like such a quick trigger when you're grilling stuff for other people. You're like, they're waiting for food. Like, I got to get this off.
Yes.
And like your chicken is just pink in the middle, or your steak is just bleeding everywhere. Yes. Yeah, like it. But when you get it right, like I had to bring out every meat thermometer that I had. I had my parents over to eat steaks.
Yeah.
And they're not picky, but they don't like medium rare like me. So I had to really gauge the temp on
really cook that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of parents and steaks, so I grew up. My parents only did well done steaks. In fact, my parents would sometimes cook steaks in the crock pot, which is wild. And we didn't get like expensive steaks, and so my dad would be like, "We're having steaks tonight," and I would always be like, "Okay." Like I thought steak sucked until I had a medium rare steak, and I was like, "Steak is amazing."
Yes.
Yeah.
So now
important.
My dad knows this about me. So anytime I go home, he's like, "We're having steaks," and he will like cook them to the bloodiest rare and like hand it to me, and he's like, "Is this how you like it?" And I'm like, "Yes," and then I'll eat it, and he's like, yes. Yeah, and it's delicious. It really is good. They're really good. He's got a smoker. He kills it. They're super good. So I know my brother's listening to this right now. So if you go over there and you tell him that I don't like his steaks, you're lying, because I love his steaks. You show him this clip. But no, I didn't know I never had a medium rare steak until I was an adult. So anyway.
Yeah, I didn't have it till I was older either. My parents were about that done life.
Yeah.
Or at least medium well. Yeah.
Yeah.
An easy dislike on the heels of that would be to say when you cook for someone and it doesn't turn out you want. Okay, that's an easy one.
I figured that was where you were going.
I'm not going to go for that layup. Because, okay.
Wow.
Here's what I got. So
Here's what I got.
the cycle of sweatiness. All right, hear me out. We're almost out of this. But you go to the gym, okay? For me, I'm having to change clothes. So I'm putting on my gym clothes, taking off my office clothes in the locker room. That alone makes me generate a little
sweat,
little perspiration because there's a steam room in there. You know, there's not a lot of air flowing around in the locker room, so I start sweating a little bit. Then I go work out. Okay, then I'm full on sweating. Okay, I get out into the parking lot. What's going to happen? Sweat out my gills. I take a shower, cold shower, and I get out. I dry off, put clothes on. Guess what's happening? Sweating.
You're sweating.
And that is probably the worst feeling is when you have fresh clothes on and you got the post gym shower sweats, and you're just sitting on your couch collecting more sweat on your back and sides.
Yep, 100%.
I mean, that's going away soon, hopefully.
Mine is like I worked out the other night, got home, showered. I don't think I showered fast enough or took a long enough shower to make it where I had stopped sweating previously. Kind of like what you're describing, the cycle of sweat. And so as I was like fixing my hair, like blow drying it, it was like still sticking to my forehead with sweat from post shower. Yeah. And it was the worst feeling ever because like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm disgusting as I was prior to showering. So yeah, I feel that dislike on a personal level.
That's a good one. It's a good one, player.
Banger dislikes this week. Banger likes and dislikes this week, Cameron. I'm not going to speak for Mulvihill. I think mine were subpar based on your first one. It was so good.
And the sauce was good. Love bugs is mid because it's my second bug, but you know.
I mean, I'm anti-love bug as well.
I don't think any of us like love bugs. We don't love them.
They mean no harm. I mean, they're all about love and peace, but
there's just too many of them.
There's too many in this piece. You know what I mean?
No, it's not necessary.
We need spiders to do their jobs.
Yeah,
I don't like any bugs. I'm an anti-bug. I don't like VW bugs. I've never met a cool person that drive a bug ever. I'll say that. If you're listening to this and you drive a bug and you're cool, you better let me know.
Little foreshadowing to the list. A little punch bug, don't punch back.
Don't punch back.
That's nostalgic.
All right.
You better not.
Today, very historic episode. Got a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. This topic was shared with me years and years ago by a young person named Sam Cox. Sam shared this with me, and I have been enamored with this event in history since then. And I've always wanted to talk about it. So. You're going to love this. All right. The year is 1919. It's the cold January winter of Boston. Y'all ever been to Boston?
I have not.
I've been once.
Did you like it?
It's pretty cool.
It's cool. It's not a walking city, in my opinion.
Are people mean there? Is that a thing?
I went to a Red Sox-Yankees game, and no one was happy there.
That feels right.
It was heated.
Not a lot of love bugs there.
Yeah. No
one bite of a lobster roll, though, and you're everyone's in a good mood.
I want a lobster roll so bad.
I underestimated the lobster roll. I thought it was going to be disgusting. Like I don't get it, and then I had one. The bread, the roll, the little mayo that they put and mix it in.
The butter.
Dude,
you get the butter.
Yeah, dude. It exceeded expectations.
Yeah, I want one so bad, dude. Dang.
I do too. I want one for real. And I've never desired to go to Boston. However, I want to go to see where this happened. So, year 1919, streets of Boston. There's a distilling company called the Purity Distilling Company. This is important because the way that they would ferment some things to make ethanol was they would take giant, huge tanks of molasses. All right. Anybody, you molasses fans? We mean molasses fans.
I love molasses. Yeah.
Speaking of making sauces, every B-Dub sauce calls for molasses. We tried to make some. Yeah, we tried to make honey barbecue, and you had to put molasses in it. And that recipe,
blackstrap molasses. Molasses.
And you're not using molasses for anything else. So
no,
yeah.
The only time I've ever had molasses was at Lambert's.
Yeah, I was just about to
put
say
molasses on the biscuits.
They drizzle it on your roll. Yeah.
My grandfather, I remember I walked in and him and my grandmother were sitting at the kitchen table and they had a bowl of molasses and they were dipping deer sausage into the molasses and just watching it drip. That's what they were doing. That was their day. That was their whole day.
Were they eating it or they just watching it?
Yeah. They would watch it drip and then and then they would dip it again and watch it drip.
That noise was scary accurate. Ugh.
It was the most like 75-year-old people thing I've ever seen in my life.
Key is take the bite after the first drip, 30 minutes after you dip it.
My grandma was like, "Come here, look at this," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to anyway." So they were fermenting molasses. Now, there's a couple different theories on what happened. Okay, but something went wrong with the tank. And the thing that went wrong comes down to the rivets on the side of the tank were not correctly installed. So these rivets were like 10 inches across, very small compared to how big this tank was. This tank held 2.3 million U.S. gallons of molasses. I'm going to say that again. 2.3 million gallons.
What were they using molasses for at the time?
They were fermenting it. So you ferment it and it creates ethanol. If you ferment molasses long enough, it creates ethanol, which you can then create whiskey with and different stuff like that.
I'm trying to visualize 1 gallon, like a gallon of milk, and then putting 2.3 million together.
I don't know if I've ever seen a million of anything. Yeah, it was like a big, like giant, like storage tank. But it's at a distillery in downtown Boston. So it was like they had several of these. They had 2 or 3 of them, I think. So here is what happened. Essentially, some temperature stuff. It became an extra cold winter. That winter, it was like exceedingly cold, and the room had to be temperature controlled. And it's 1919, so like it's just sort of like guesswork, I guess.
They didn't have AC.
Yeah, I mean they didn't need it. It was like negative 12 degrees in Boston that year. It was crazy.
Yeah,
and so it dropped down, and the density of molasses is about 1.4 tons per cubic meter, which means it's 40 more dense than water. Okay. This means molasses has way more potential energy. If we go back to physics, you guys remember potential and kinetic energy?
Mm-hmm.
Cam?
Kinetic is moving.
Yeah. And potential
might be moving.
It could be moving soon.
It might move.
Could be. Good job. That's science with Mr. Cam. So what ended up happening was these rivets busted around the tank. The entire 2.3 million gallons exploded out of the tank, hard enough to blow the wall off the distillery.
Sounds like a sticky situation.
It's about to get sticky. 2.3 million gallons of molasses flood into the streets of Boston at a depth of 2 to 3 feet. It's going so fast that it is leveling buildings. It's killing people. So I lied about it not being as morbid.
All of the horses are just stuck in it, just standing there.
6 horses died.
Oh my God.
6.
Listen to this. This is a quote. Molasses, waist deep, covered the street, swirled and bubbled around the wreckage because it destroyed building upon building. It blew out everything. Here and there struggle to form. Whether it was animal or human being was impossible to tell. So they get hit. The molasses hits them so hard it covers. And then people that survived it were looking as like hands were like reaching covered in molasses, like dogs
like in a movie.
Were under there. Yes. Like it is
like you see someone in a tank and you're just like.
Did they eat their way out?
Listen, no. To be frank,
was there a note at the end saying, well, at least we didn't have to tie up our horses that day?
I have not seen that note yet. They all seemed really sad about it because 24 people died.
No positive notes. Okay.
No, none. Continuing on with this quote, here and there struggle to form, whether it was animal or human being, hard to tell. Only an upheaval, a thrashing about in the sticky mass showed where any life was. Horses died like so many flies on sticky fly paper. The more they struggled, the deeper in the mess they were ensnared. Human beings, men and women, suffered likewise. It said it all started with a rush of air that threw people to the ground. So they're already on the ground when this like horrible sweet smell comes with the air and the molasses would just wash over them. And because it's so much heavier, you can't like get up. And this was an even bigger problem. It was colder than normal outside. So because it was so cold, the molasses became thicker.
Hardened up around you. Wow.
Yes.
Boy.
So around 150 people were injured in it. So like 150 people survived, were injured, different stages of injuries. People horrible.
They just all became the little bugs in natural science museums that are surrounded
That's
by
exactly
the
like
amber.
in amber. Yes, dude, for real. Like that is it.
Boy.
It is crazy. So there was debris that was carried that killed people. They had coughing fits after because of the fermentation of the stuff, like whatever happened. This is one child's experience. Anthony DeStasio, very Boston.
Italian.
Italian.
Walking homeward with his sisters from the Michelangelo school.
Italian.
My God.
Italian was picked up by the wave and carried tumbling on its crest, almost as though he were surfing. I don't think he was having that much fun.
Yeah, no way he was Gigliano.
Just shredding the gnar.
He's the amber surfer.
Then he grounded, and the molasses rolled him like a pebble as the wave diminished. He could hear his mother calling his name through the sludge, but he couldn't answer because his throat was so clogged with smothering goo.
Kurt started this as, this topic is not morbid as the others.
Well, he passed out and then opened his eyes to find 3 of his 4 sisters staring at him. So he survived. He survived. He survived.
Honestly, this sounds like it would have been a better ending to Game of Thrones than what Game of Thrones was. Like if it just had done this to the kingdom and Jon Snow,
molasses flood.
Jon Snow appeared out of the molasses with just it all in his beard and stuff.
It sounds like a chapter in Rainy with a Chance of Meatballs or whatever that.
It does. It really does. It really does. Like. This happened in America. We don't talk about this. Listen.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Shout out 9/11. Respect, all the respect. We need to remember January 15th too. The Boston Molasses Disaster happened. The way that it was cleaned up, just sort of wrap up, was they sent the Navy. So 116 cadets under the direction of Lieutenant Commander H.J. Copeland from the USS Nantucket showed up. They were actually all training, by the way. They weren't even out just loose Navy men yet. They were all training. So this whole squad shows up and they start trying to get survivors out. They're tying ropes to them and pulling them out of the sludge.
It's probably a similar crew that cleaned up that Alfredo on
probably.
I-55.
Yeah.
Probably. Similar
bunch.
I want to be clear. This would be the equivalent of that Alfredo having killed 21 people. That's...
We would have needed a few more trucks of Alfredo.
It ended with 119 residents brought a class action lawsuit against the United States Industrial Alcohol Company. And they made a bunch of money. Still getting paid out. $5.82 million was paid out just last year to some of the relatives of the family. So
what?
About $7,000 per victim was given in that time, and then there were families that hadn't yet received it, and so they got it with interest from the USIA, which is still operating. So,
what was this event called, Kurt? The Great Molasses Flood of?
There's a couple names for it. There's the Great Molasses Flood. So good job.
Nailed it.
Named it.
Wow.
Good Lord,
there's also the Boston Molasses Disaster. Was the other one?
That one's much more descriptive of exactly.
Specific. Yeah, it tells you a little more what happened. The cleanup, the way they cleaned it up was they sprayed it with salt water, which apparently breaks it down. But they said that people had molasses cake to things for months after that. You would still be sitting on sticky. It was like eating at a Denny's. You would sit down and just be sticky immediately. It was as though you lived in a Denny's because Denny's is always sticky.
He lived and slept and everything.
At least Jackson doesn't have anything as ridiculous to call the Boston molasses crisis.
I agree.
It's just
I agree.
Water.
I have a similar story to this.
Yeah.
A little side story real quick.
Okay.
So the guy I get my local honey from, shout out to Ed's Backyard Bees, he has another beekeeper friend who was draining a huge vat of honey into bottles and stuff. And then he walked away for a sec to go to his kitchen or something to grab something, but it's in his garage. He walked away and somehow forgot, and all 100 gallons of honey went into his garage.
Oh wow!
And it's a micro version, but it would be absolutely a miserable time to clean up. I don't even know what you do with it.
That's horrible.
That's
100 gallons in one house is a lot. Yeah. How do you clean up honey?
I don't know.
Gotta get it.
You gotta
scrape it hot.
You gotta get a snow shovel, I think.
A
to get it out of a garage.
But then what
you
do you
gotta
do
get
with it? You can't.
But where do
get all the
dump it?
British people to come over and put honey in their tea. and you forever you sell it from the ground. You'd be like, this is raw honey.
Bit of a dirty honey, isn't it?
Bit of a sticky situation, isn't it?
I feel like British people don't like honey. Yeah, I don't know if they like honey.
Bit of a conundrum you found yourself in, eh? Isn't it?
In it, bro.
A bit of little honey on the ground.
A bit of sticky honey on the ground, isn't it?
No. Anyway, that's my topic for today. I've been excited about that one, so hopefully you are as amazed that story exists as I am.
It's pretty nuts.
So
I thought you were going Boston Tea Party off rip, and I was like, man, I'm about to snooze through this one.
Nah, baby. If I'm coming with a topic, somebody died. There's a good chance.
Yeah, it seems that way. It seems that way.
Listen, man, I love it. Not death.
Have y'all ever seen or experienced quicksand?
I saw a video on TikTok of people who were like, quicksand's real, and they were like playing in it.
I'll say I did think it would be much more prevalent in my life, just from watching movies.
Yeah, they really made a big deal.
Our boy John Austin Arnder got stuck in it one time, and I thought I lost.
Really?
Yeah.
How far down did he go?
He was like above his knee.
Did he yell?
He was like panicking, trying to pull out of it.
I don't know if I've ever heard him go above like a whisper decibel level. So that's insane. That must have been scary.
But it was all in his face for sure. You could tell.
Yeah. Did he use his camera strap as a lasso to rope around a tree and pull him out?
He threw it to me and I yanked him out. Yeah.
Perfect.
Take the Nikon, pull it as hard as you can.
He would never use it.
What does he do?
Grab the Fuji. Grab the Fuji.
Sorry, John. Does he listen to this? Do you know?
Probably
not.
He doesn't.
Sorry, John. If you do ever listen.
T's and P's to that.
T's and P's. When's the next audio visual coming out?
Clothes.
That's it. Let's get to our top 10 rankings. Boys, this might be under an hour. Our fans are going to be stoked.
They don't have to listen for over an hour for change.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a Vibey?
Oh, nah.
I have a quick one, yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I got to throw mine real quick.
Okay, I'll go. You ever heard of Dirty Honey?
Dude.
No.
So relevant.
Dude, no shot.
That's what you had.
Have you heard of them?
No, but that's crazy you had them in the...
No, I haven't heard of them, but Dirty Honey off the ground?
Yeah, how'd you have them in the queue of your brain?
I wrote it down.
Before the episode?
Yeah, just in case.
That is unreal that you...
Are you not seeing how uncanny you bring up a band called Dirty Honey is after the story you shared?
Do you just realize
it now?
Okay. Oh my goodness.
I'm putting it together.
You didn't realize it before you said it?
Mobile.
It's late, bro.
You having a tough day today, my G.
Anyways, Dirty Honey, they have a song called When I'm Gone. It's like AC/DC mixed with Guns N' Roses. It's a banger, bro. It's like old school rock and roll.
Those feel like the same bands, man.
They are, but they're a little different.
One's more power chords.
I just love how Mobile wasn't like, here's one for you, Dirty Honey.
Dirty Honey. Yeah.
Knew immediately.
Dude.
I wrote it down. I was ready, bro. I'm always ready.
You are ready.
I stay strapped, cuz.
Mine is not topical, but it's from my personal favorite band, Hot Mulligan. Released an acoustic album. They did a cover of Make Damn Sure by Taking Back Sunday. And that's one of my favorite old elder emo songs. And so to have it again with a current emo band that I really love is very exciting. If you haven't listened to Hot Mulligan, their second most recent album is absolutely a slap for in the gym, man. Like their song Equip Sunglasses is like, I could bench 400 when I'm listening to it.
Yeah, I'm writing them down. I've never listened to them, but I love the name.
I need a few Hot Mulligans on the golf course.
I'll tell you what, I played golf yesterday and I shot 10 over with a two-man scramble. Yeah, I was with a partner, but I did, 10
mine is also a famous Bostonian band called The Ghost of Paul Revere.
I like that band. They're good.
This is the end.
That's a good song.
It's a good song.
I love that song.
We vibe.
Highly recommend. We vibe those. Yep. Check out Dirty Honey. Insane that you told that story and didn't connect it still. And check out.
I wrote that down before the episode. I swear to God.
Yeah, I'll never get over that.
Hot Mulligan and The Ghost of Paul Revere. Go check them out. This week we're actually giving you like our playlist. Not that LA Days by J.M. Ross is not on our playlist.
Or the Charmin Ultra
actually go to Spotify and click it. Yeah.
And open it. It will play the song.
He drinks a lot of moonshine.
a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a true
T's and P's.
It's a true line.
T's and P's to our fallen partner, J.M. Ross. He had a little surgery this past week.
Yeah, he's got a tube coming out of his butt with blood just leaking out of it.
Gross.
So, sorry if
we
you
got to go into that much detail, but yeah, he's struggling.
Yeah, man. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
We did learn, I think we talked about this last week, but for the lady listeners out there.
Whatever you're about to say, Kurt, maybe no.
I'm just saying J.M. Ross has a great butt. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
he has probably the best butt out of all of our friends. Like,
can confirm. He's cheeked up.
It is immaculate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I thought he had a BBL. Seriously, I thought he was sending a picture of like
Cam did.
Someone
Cam
who had
asked
surgery.
if it was. Yeah, Cam did not believe it was real.
He did have surgery.
He has a great.
Yeah, he
butt.
did have
Maybe it was a
surgery.
BBL surgery.
Dude, what if secretly he got a BBL and that's his excuse to us?
He's had enough plastic surgery, which is just. He's had enough plastic surgery at this point, which is just like one thing, but enough that I would believe he would do a second.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, we know he's not anti-plastic surgery. So
once you open the door to having plastic surgery,
like tattoos.
You're in.
Yeah,
it is. It is. You get inked up. You get addicted. So anyway, we Vibies, shout out. Not going to be under an hour now, but we tried. I'm going to go first on my list.
Go for it, big dog.
So our rankings this week, Cam texted us and said that it is nostalgia. So Mulvey just like did. Things that you're nostalgic. Oh, Mulvey.
I could see it in Mulvey's eyes that he was like, you better give me credit for bringing it.
I'm sorry.
His eyes got so wide.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
You didn't take credit for the dirty honey joke, and I was like, there's no way he's functioning high enough to have sent this. Like, I'm just kidding.
I thought about it a while back. I've been pondering this top 10 nostalgia, baby.
Hey, baby, you pale pink. Pale pink and on the spectrum. Let's do it. Nostalgia.
Do it.
Number 10. This one's for real. Burger King being good. Remember when Burger King was good?
Never.
Especially their toys. Their toys.
They had their toys, dude. First, one of the first memories I had. Burger King used to send out a birthday card to me. I don't know how I'd get it, but I got a birthday card from them, and you'd get a free BK Big Kids meal. Shout out. And you would go, and they had Dragon Ball Z toys. And I'll never forget, I was furious because they had a Goku in there, and they gave me Krillin.
Ooh, and Krillin's the worst character?
Why did you even make
the lamest
Krillin?
One. So, like, I
would have even made
Piccolo.
Krillin is so mean.
I would have accepted Bulma, who was Vegeta's wife. I don't want Krillin. Dude, I was furious. So that's then funny. I like begged my grandpa to go back like every day. But I didn't realize they rotate the toys weekly, so I got 2 more Krillins out of this whole deal. And then finally, my mom went and asked and was like, "Do you have Goku?" And they were like, "Yeah, somewhere." And she got me one. So,
give me Goku.
Does Burger King still do toys? I don't frequent a Burger King.
I don't know.
Nor do I order kids meals.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if anybody does toys. I went through a huge
the gold
phase.
Pokemon cards they did? They were like solid.
Got one. I got one still. Great.
Probably worth
Burger King used to have good toys. Also, Neopets was at McDonald's, and we got really addicted to collecting Neopets, me and a group of my friends when I was in 3rd grade. Anyway, number 9, Lunchables pizzas. I remember them being delicious. I know they're not. Eat them cold.
They used to be better, I feel like.
The sauce, I would just drink the sauce. I loved it.
Sauce was fire. Sauce was the best part.
There was so much sugar in that sauce. Had to have been.
Oh, dude, it was like it was might as well cherry Kool-Aid. But it was good.
That's what they did. That's what they did with all that molasses, bro. They stuck it in the Lunchables
sauces. Razor scooters.
Where's that on yours?
Razor 8. It's on yours? That's good. It's nostalgic.
All right.
I remember, so I rode a Razor scooter 2 weeks ago. There was a bunch of them at my work. So I hopped on it and rode up and down the halls. It was fun. I realized they're not made for large feet, man. I couldn't fit both my feet on it like I used to could. Anyway, so
a lot of fallen ankles.
Didn't hit myself in the ankle because I don't think I could handle it.
The greatest pain one can experience.
Oh, my God.
Real. Number 7, the smell of cigarettes. And specifically...
What?
I sound like I used to be so my whole family smoked, like both sides smoked when I was a kid. Like you go over to my grandpa's house to this day, y'all have been inside of it. It smells like smoke. He smokes, he rips Winston's constantly. I don't know if I've ever seen him without one.
Never heard of that brand.
That's all he smokes. That's the only thing.
That's an old head brand.
That's an old head brand.
That's
Winston
the first
Gold.
cigarette. He just bought a bunch back in the day, and he's still
This is incriminating myself. Not when I was 11, they would send me across the street, and I would go buy cartons of Winston cigarettes in Collins. 11 years old, they'd be like, "Hey," and they just hand them to me.
I wonder if Collins is the last place in America to sell them, just because your family's kept them in business.
It has to be. That's the only way. Winston cigs, but specifically in Waffle House, like when you could smoke at Waffle House
or Applebee's. Remember the Applebee's
section? Smoking section, the smoking section, but it's cigarette smoke, so it just wafts.
Yeah. Which, Kurt, I say that's not relatable, but for me, like half of my family's from Louisiana, and they all smoke cigarettes too.
Smoked.
So just like every event would just smell like cigarettes.
It smelled like cigarettes. Yeah. I think I remember it as like family events, because like. And there was always the like people in our family who would like hide that they smoked, even though everybody else smoked anyway. So, 6 is going to be, this is one that I've been nostalgic for recently, is sleepovers. I realized a couple of weeks ago that I will never experience the feeling of a sleepover in the same way. And what I mean is like you do like an event, like you all go to like church together on a Wednesday night or something during the summer, or you would go like to a birthday party. And then you and your like best friends would go to the house to do a sleepover. And it was like leaving with everybody. You knew it was coming during the day. Like it was just our Friday night after school. Like you're like getting hyped up for like 6 o'clock when your parents were going to drop you off.
Like you're at school all day. Like, we're about to chill.
We about to do it big this week.
And all night.
And I realized like as an adult with a baby, I will never get to do that again.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
Like it's over. I'll never have that feeling again.
Because even if I'm away, last one until it's gone.
No, you don't. Man, I miss sleepovers. Number 5 kind of goes with sleepovers. Halo 2 and 3. I remember them being perfect games. I don't know if they were. I could also throw some Call of Duty like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1. Black. You could throw any of the old school like first person shooters that you played split screen with your friends at 3 a.m.
I remember the first time I played Call of Duty. It was after first band camp. We went over to Leighton Brown's house for lunch. We played Call of Duty, and changed my life forever, man.
Man, and Call of Duty still ruins our lives pretty regularly. So, man, just like really any video games late at night at the sleepovers with your friends. 4, this one's magic. The Scholastic Book Fair when you're in elementary school.
Elite.
Whoa.
I don't remember buying
so book. Much. I didn't either, dude. I bought an MP3 player one year.
All about the goodies.
I bought a racer.
Sea monkeys.
Oh, the Sea Monkeys, dude. I never had the money to buy them because they're like $40, and I would just like look at them.
I got them one time.
I remember those rubber rulers that were like when you touched them, they changed a different color and they like were floppy.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those.
Yeah. You also had remember the rubber pencils? Those were the ones you actually got for like raising like $50,000 by selling chocolate, and they were like, "We got you a pencil." Thank you.
Or the little hourglasses that were little droplets of color instead of sand.
Oh,
nostalgic. Number 3 is Halloween as a kid. Like you got your costume. I remember as a kid, like my mom wouldn't let me wear my costume until the day of Halloween. And so like I would just like stare at it. I would go into my closet every day and stare at it. And one night I put it on and they came in my room and caught me and I got in trouble. But I still got to be a ninja. I was a ninja for about 7 years running.
Oh yeah,
different color ninja
rotation.
I was an M&M for many years, and it was embarrassing looking back on that.
Yeah, I was a huge Darth Maul fan, and in kindergarten I went to school with Darth Maul. That had to be terrifying to some of those kids.
Just like that curly fro.
Just that top out, son.
I was different colored ninjas, which each had like an animal representation. Like the blue ninja would be like an elephant.
A wolf. I had the wolf one or something one year.
Yeah, wolf.
The
white
costumes
ones
were special.
Yeah, they were cool. But just like the memories of Halloween, like trick or treating. Now, like Halloween's like a blip on my radar. But like it's still a big deal. I love Halloween season. I'll read some nice
when your
horror
son
books
gets older,
during
it'll be fun for sure.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Number 2, Cam, this one probably means more to you, but for me, it is Friday Night Lights. Like the feeling of electricity on a Friday night. Like you're at the game. It's kind of cold outside. You're watching, you're cheering, you're going. For you, I imagine it's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, I mean, people make fun of liking high school football after you're not in high school.
It's awesome,
but
dude, it's awesome.
After playing, for 4 years, it's more like you kind of go back. And for me, it was all like the friends you made along the way. As corny as that is, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, your best friend, Gardner Minshew.
Yes, him. Man,
quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, he's him.
That's it.
No, but I mean, I just remember the feeling of seeing all your friends. It was awesome. I miss those. I miss those nights sometimes. And then last but not least is going to be uber specific to me, at least in this podcast. Hopefully some listeners feel this. Back in the early 2000s, late 90s, Cartoon Network had a block of programming every afternoon called Toonami. And on Toonami was Dragon Ball Z, G Gundam, and a lot of other anime. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old Kurt watched a lot of really violent anime as a child. And
Samurai Jack on there?
It was at back end. It was on the back end. Eventually, Toonami moved to Saturday nights and lost its hotness. But I'm telling you, man, I remember
Toonami was fire.
Every day, I'd get off the bus in kindergarten, walk in, grab a bag of nacho cheese Doritos before they changed the recipe. A lot of people don't remember they changed the recipe. They changed it, and they don't taste as good now. Point is, and I would sit there for hours and watch, consume. They're delicious, but they're not the same. And I want that.
I saw a TikTok today saying that they don't have to be powdery and get all over your fingers, but Dorito thinks that people enjoy the finger part of it, so they left it. They can taste the exact same without that, but they just.
I want the powder. I do want the powder. I want to see the dark orange one that you pull out of the bag, and you're like, this one is gonna change my life.
Yeah, this one's gonna hit.
But anyway, Toonami is my number one. I miss that vibe. Streaming has kind of killed that, but I remember turning it on and it would be right before Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, I caught it at the beginning of the episode. It was always hype.
That's true. That's nostalgic in itself. Having to tune into the TV show you're watching on time.
Catching a movie only 10 minutes in. Seeing I don't know if I've ever seen the first I don't know if I've seen the first 10 minutes of Forrest Gump. I've seen the movie 150.
Dude, I was going to say Castaway. I've never seen the plane crash.
Castaway.
I always just tune in as he's on the island. As a child, I was like, how'd he get there? Why did he choose this?
Just never know.
Yeah, I just never knew.
I don't know what's wrong with Forrest. I know I would catch him when he was breaking out of his leg braces.
He's just
University of Alabama.
Yeah, running full speed at Alabama, and you're like, why does everyone make fun of him for how he, his legs are fine?
Fast.
Yeah, he's the fastest man alive.
So, anyway, that's my list. Who's going? Mulvey, you always go last. Cam's going last this week. Sorry, I'm making an executive.
Shoot fire.
Heck yeah, brother. All right, man. Number 10, the giant parachute at recess where you would flop the ball around.
Coming in hot.
I saw it recently.
I saw it recently.
The fear of being trapped under it was always pretty high on my list of fears.
Yeah. But I
People
saw it recently at the. Go ahead.
I just said people would get more hype for that than I think it deserved. It was literally just go up and go down. I would never liked it.
It was fun. I saw it recently at the Hattiesburg Zoo. They doing it for the kids, and I was like, oh wow, that's a blast.
The more dangerous recess game was those little scooters that were just flat.
Almost put that.
People's fingers would look like Deion Sanders' feet at the end. They would just be every direction. I've never seen so many injuries.
Brandon Elementary School also had the worst concrete parking lot I have ever experienced. It was the surface of the moon. Yes.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Okay. Nice. Number 9, Borders coffee smell.
Oh my god.
And the kids' reading area and the little kids' carpet area.
I would always walk over to the big headphones and listen to CDs.
Yeah. Dude, that smell, though. Oh, my God.
I would get hot chocolate.
The amount of Magic Treehouse books I bought from that Borders is ungodly. I read all 50 of them.
I didn't like coffee, and I would always order hot chocolate, and it would taste like coffee just because there's coffee in the air. I think I just thought it was coffee. And I'd be like, ew. And so I wasted probably 50 hot chocolates over the time of that Borders being open. I would take 3 sips and throw it away.
That's awesome.
Borders, man. Borders didn't have the same poop thing that Barnes & Noble has for me, though. Because every time I walk into a Barnes & Noble, I immediately have to poop. Immediately. I know that's a meme, but it's real.
Another fun fact, old books make you poop. The glue in them. In the old
gotta be what it is.
We said this in an episode already, just to say it.
I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up.
Hate that. All right, number 8.
We're running low on content. 11 episodes in.
How have we reverted back to that topic?
I don't know. It's just one of my favorite facts, but just in general, I love to hit people with that one. Number 8, when you put glue in the marker box, make a bookmark out of it. Did you ever do that?
I know what it is, but I did not do that.
I don't think I did.
You didn't do it? It was very fun. You let it dry and you just peel it out.
Boy, that one did not hit.
You missed out.
I know what you're referencing. I remember people doing it. I just was now. I was like, what a waste of glue. I gotta eat this. I'm hungry.
I gotta eat this. That's your nostalgia. Oh man! At number 7, yellow Wendy's. Remember when yellow? Anytime I see a pic of that on the internet, is wild.
That was a totally different restaurant, man. It really was.
It was kind of upscale.
Yeah, it was nice. They did mark themselves as like a premium fast food almost at that time.
They don't cut corners.
I think
that's why they're square.
I still.
No.
Good
one, Dad.
I'm gonna leave.
I'm gonna leave. Number 6, big dog shirts. I know Cam.
We bringing those up every week. We talk about big dog shirts every week.
It's my pride and joy, baby. We used to go in the summer right before school started. We would go to the beach, and they had a big dog outlet at Gulf Shores out the mall.
They had storefronts.
Outlet.
Big dog had storefronts.
Yeah, I would stock up.
That's crazy.
I stock up before the year started.
I thought they were just at JCPenney, man. I didn't know that.
No, player. They had a whole rig set up. At number 5, school lunch pizza, the square pizza.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Better than triangle pizza, better than circle pizza. Square pizza is
the square. And daycare pizza sticks, dude. We used to have these pizza sticks at daycare. They were unreal.
My daycare was a sad place, so I don't.
Mine was sad.
FBC daycare food was gas.
See,
I went to Sunshine.
I remember eating carrots at Cradles to Crayons in Collins, Mississippi.
Cradles to Crayons, wow.
You just never upgraded from crayons?
No, man, I never got past
They
crayons.
weren't ever going to teach you to speak or anything.
No, I think I got picked up early every day. I was the kid who was always I was a biter. I bit so many kids that the principal was like, I'm going to throw them out. And my mom showed up, and this is a true story. She bit me on the arm as hard as she could. And I never bit another kid. I never bit another kid.
Bite the dog on the ear
very quickly.
Parenting 101 right there.
Same guy. My mom she was like single mother at that time, and she was just like, I am not doing it. Bit me so hard. I'll never forget it. Anyway,
that's awesome, dude.
Shouts.
Number 4, Pizza Hut birthdays in the playpen area. Those were a lit time. I don't know if you ever did birthdays there, but
I did them at Mazio's and Rip a few sueys.
Mazio's,
yeah.
Mazio's as well, and they had the sick games
and the chocolate chip pizza. Bring it up, gotta bring it up.
Man, we are backtracking.
Put some respect.
That's fine. That's fine. We're very limited experience people.
Yeah,
that's true.
We're from Brandon,
3.
Mississippi. We didn't do anything special.
We don't have so much, yeah. Number 3, Umbro shorts. I used to bust out the Umbro shorts every Friday.
What do those look like?
I have never worn a pair of Umbro shorts, and I played soccer for years.
You're talking about West Ham is sponsored by Umbro.
That sucks.
That's crazy.
Don't say that.
Y'all didn't wear Umbro shorts as a kid?
I did.
No, dude. I played
black
soccer.
checkers?
Our soccer uniforms were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine were Adidas. All my soccer uniforms were Adidas.
Dang.
Well, I used to wear a Brandon football jersey and Umbro shorts every game day as a kid.
Let's go. That was probably fire.
Golf King.
It was lit. Pokemon on Game Boy Color.
Yes.
Was an unreal time in my life.
Yes.
I remember getting it for Christmas one year.
Which one?
Never looked back. I got yellow.
Yellow?
I think first.
That's one where Pikachu follows you, too, so it was gas.
Maybe you guys could well-verse me. I've played the games, but what is the difference? Like, why is there green,
all right, so
silver?
I got this.
Okay.
All right,
take it away.
So, in each version, you have the same roster. However, for example, in Ruby, you could catch Groudon, who was a Pokemon god of magma. And in Sapphire, the blue version, you couldn't catch Groudon, but you could catch the other legendary Kyogre.
So it's like different bosses in the game.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But then they always release a third game after you've already bought one of the other two. They release it late enough that you can't wait on it. Like they released Emerald, where you could catch Groudon, Kyogre, and the new one, Rayquaza. Okay. And the same was true in Pokemon Yellow. It was the culmination of Red and Green. And I don't remember the specific Pokemon you couldn't catch, but I think it was Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I don't remember.
It's actually a great explanation. I mean, that makes total sense. I never knew.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I was a gold, silver, and sapphire, and gold, silver,
crystal.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you could catch Lugia in Crystal, but you couldn't. You could catch Ho-Oh in no. What was the Crystal one? Dang it!
Snorlax.
He was in all of them. That man was asleep everywhere. You had to wake him up with a flu.
Couldn't get him out of the game. He just kept sleeping. He was too heavy to move.
Man,
so
my dude Snorlax. Anyway.
Okay, and number one, similar to Kurt's, Saturday cartoons and Power Rangers on Saturday. When you wake up on Saturday, crack of dawn, just ripping through cartoons, man. That's the time. Kids don't even know about that anymore, I'm sure.
No, they don't.
Get to just wake up and flip on the TV. Your parents probably aren't awake yet. You just click on the TV.
Dude, I remember the kids nowadays are like waking up and watching like EPL games, man. Like they're they're
watching the Prem.
They're like I can get up and watch West Ham. Like you're 9, dude. Watch
some tunes, player.
Watch Goku fight Frieza for 40 episodes, man. Come on.
What are you doing with your life,
man? Learn some violence.
Yeah,
you'll one day have a podcast where you bring up massacres.
Yeah.
As topics.
It's the only thing you think about.
It's the only thing you want to research.
Yeah, that's it's. I tried to research some other like weird events in American history, and this is the one that caught my eye the most.
Death.
I was like, I got to get to this one.
When you saw thousands of people die on national television at the age of 5,
it is true. I was in kindergarten.
Never forget
on the day of 9/11. Speaking of, you're really headed for something in your life.
Yeah, it changed me.
Anyways, Cam?
Really pushed the envelope there. All right.
Yeah.
Number 10, I've got Bagel Bites.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I
had some recently.
I saw them. I was
they
like,
suck.
dang, this would hit.
They're not good.
Yeah.
Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah, they were real hard to get right. I'll be honest. You could burn those little square pepperonis like no other item of food.
Dude. I will say they were either rubber, like unchewable rubber, if you did them in the microwave like a psycho, or if you did them in the oven for just a little bit too long, they would eviscerate the inside of your mouth with how sharp they would be.
They were napalm too.
The top of the roof of your mouth was getting liquid hot magma into your
destroyed.
That's probably changed a lot of my taste buds, was the amount of bagel bites that I've been into too early as a child.
I think pizza rolls for me. Pizza rolls ruined me. It's why
pizza rolls. They would explode too. Yeah,
dude. They would just bust on you.
Yeah, none of the pizza products really could ever come out at a temperature that was ready to eat within 20 minutes.
No. Granted, I'm also a very impatient person. I still eat my food like magma.
If I smell it, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be in my mouth.
But yeah, me and my sister would frequently make bagel bites if we were wondering what to eat.
Got to.
So.
Love it.
At number 9, I've got Nickelodeon shows such as Zoe 101, Ned's Declassified, The Hidden Temple I mentioned in the first episode. All
Dude.
that.
iCarly. Remember iCarly? Did you ever watch iCarly, Cam?
I've never seen it, man.
Okay.
All right. Number 8. I've got...
Wait, I need to say something about Zoe
go there.
101.
Okay.
No, about Zoe 101. I had such an unrealistic expectation of what high school was going to be like because of those stinking shows.
Dude, their phones were awesome.
They had mopeds. Yeah. I remember Drake and Josh to this day.
Oh, Drake and Josh. How did I forget
Sphere?
That? Good grief.
That's all right. The Game Sphere. Remember the Game Sphere?
Oh, yes.
I wanted it so bad. Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Not a real thing.
I wanted to work in a movie theater so bad because of Drake and Josh.
Yes. It was so good.
Yeah, I don't know why. But
yeah, they weren't actually friends. It's sad.
Yeah, that is sad. They didn't go to each other's weddings or whatever.
Yeah. And Drake is a predator. Him and Deshaun Watson hang out, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Drake Favre. Number 8, I've got Disney movies, such as Luck of the Irish,
like on channel, like Disney Channel,
Disney
movies.
originals. Yeah. Well, I guess they're not Disney originals; they're Disney Channel movies, is what they call them. I think. Yeah. Any movie that started with "My name's Corey from Corey in the House," and you're watching Disney Channel. And they did
you're watching a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
yes, sir.
I still to this day, I remember one of the little like short interview commercials on Disney Channel where the dude who played Eddie was like, I can't actually cook in real life. I usually will go and get a salad bowl and fill it with cereal and then pour milk in it. That's
I
like
remember
my
that
famous
too.
dish.
Yeah.
And like, it sticks every time I make cereal. I'm like, a salad bowl? Anyway.
Even Stevens. The Even Stevens movie was unreal.
The movie and the volcano and all that. Yeah.
And I'll even.
All right, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Did y'all ever see the movie True Confessions?
I don't think so.
On Disney Channel? It
starred
starred Shia LaBeouf playing as a mentally disabled man.
Okay.
Oh, I think I do know what you're talking about.
And at 5 years old, I saw that movie. And I can think of like 2 movies I've genuinely sobbed in. And that was one.
Really?
It broke me.
You think it holds
and
up?
I felt
I'll
embarrassed.
go watch it.
I don't know, but I know that I couldn't watch Even Stevens after because his character was dumb.
Yeah, he was Simple
Even
Jack.
Stevens. And because of True Confessions, it would like revert me back to him, like Shia LaBeouf. And so I would start crying watching in my parents. I was so embarrassed by it. They asked me what was wrong that I said, like, I was like, oh, my stomach hurts. But I was crying because Eddie's kite wouldn't fly. And he was like, the kite is like me. It's messed up like me.
Oh, I do remember that scene. Yeah, I think I remember that
That's
scene.
That's heavy, yeah.
Do you cry every time you hear Siri's voice because of Smart House?
No, Smart House didn't get to any point.
Smart House is phenomenal, though.
I just wanted to see what you would say. I would, like, there was always in every Disney movie one thing that you wanted to be part of your life, and in Smart House it was like changing your scenery in your room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Moving on. Number 7, Kurt's already said it, Razor scooters.
Love it.
I had a green and a blue one, but I think the green was my favorite.
Very sick. Like green,
black
the
and
whole
the red one, I think.
The logo was just green.
The whole scooter was green?
No, the logo was just green.
Gotcha. Okay, silver scooter still.
Silver, yeah.
Gotta be silver, yeah.
Cool. And you would have like colored wheels that would quickly turn to just like a beige yellow.
They would pave your street and they would just be dark black and they were lime
over
green.
Immediately.
But using those little black ramps, with the Razor scooter.
Yeah.
That was sick.
I saw Morgan Robertson jump an unreal stack of stairs and landed.
Such an athlete.
You've been name dropping like crazy.
Such an athlete. I saw him the other day. He's doing well.
Nice.
Sure, he does not listen to
rip
this.
Sticks though.
Oh yeah,
rip sticks were
my hips. I didn't have enough hip mobility to do it.
I can't do it.
I was a rip sticker.
Are you?
Short and air.
I couldn't do it.
Pretty good.
You can flip the hips, huh? You should play football, man.
Yeah, I should have, but I was baby back.
Baby back.
We got it. Triple B, baby.
Kevin Durant.
Triple B.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Number 6, I've got VHS tapes. Specifically watching one rewind.
Dude.
Yeah. That was
Remember
fun.
the colored ones? You'd open the thing and it'd be a different color. It'd be orange Nickelodeon ones.
I had a yellow one.
There was like a green. There was a green one for like some movie. I think Ninja Turtles maybe. It was awesome.
Maybe. Oh yeah, Ninja Turtles. Yeah,
dude,
it like had their masks around the little things.
Dude.
That's it.
That was
dirty. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Number 5, I've got like old school logos. So like y'all mentioned Doritos. Like Doritos' old logo is fire.
Back when they
have them out
extreme.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have like an old school Dorito bag right now that I saw.
That's like I think theirs is like the old school though. They're like the 70s. We're talking like 2005. Where everything was like knife scratches and
everything made you want to try it
3Ds.
in like a dangerous setting.
Yes, like it was like you should be skateboarding down a mountain while you eat this.
Like I don't know how I don't know how Wildberry Pop-Tarts were advertised back then, but I can only imagine it was to the extreme.
They were like skating on the colors of the stripes they painted.
Yeah, that was back when the Pop-Tarts like talked in the commercials.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the Wildberry Pop-Tarts were like, they were like hitting a ramp and the strawberry and blueberry like slammed into each other.
Yeah.
And died and became a new
Wildberry
creation.
A phoenix.
That's amazing.
Yes, and it was Wildberry Pop-Tarts.
Man, that just brought back so many little...
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, I've got, and this happened on the bus every morning for me, but the CD player with the weird cloth headphones.
Yes,
like they went around your head.
They just didn't fit.
Yeah.
It kind of just stuck out.
Man,
Everyone heard what you were listening to.
That and like making CDs, like burning CDs and put them in the CD
man.
player. So much.
I had to do that a lot
Doors
later
Down
into my
and
life.
Creed.
Yeah. I had to do that. I had a car in high school when I turned 16. Neither of my vehicles had aux ports, so I had to burn CDs of songs regularly until I was 18.
Oh, yeah.
So it was.
You have the cassette thing you could put in and then use it like a.
I don't know if you remember riding with me, but I did have that, and it did not work more than a week. Like I bought probably 30 of them. Anyway.
It's just funny to think of me as a fifth grader just being like, like in the bus. It's like, what did that mean?
I hate everything
Headstrong.
about you.
Dude, Headstrong
Yes,
is like a little fourth grader headed to school.
Yeah, dude. I would be getting ready for like a recreational soccer game.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, disturbed.
Hype era.
Yeah.
Hype era, dude.
That was awesome.
Bring it back.
Number 3, I've got Game Boys / basically just like the gaming technology back then. Tamagotchis. Y'all remember the Tamagotchis?
I was a Tamagotchi. I had 5.
Yeah.
I loved them.
And those little pets. What were those little pets? That were Josh has one still, like in his upstairs.
The robot dog.
Yes,
pet
the
that
robot
has, like,
dog
smiley
thing.
eyes.
Oh yeah,
Digipets
I
or
don't
something
know.
like that.
Digipet, it's got to be close.
I had a Digimon thing where you could like walk your Digimon and grow it.
Maybe that's what it was, Digimon. I can't remember, but yeah.
They gave you that because you were a husky child, right?
Yeah.
No, other people had it.
They told
Skinny Boys had it.
They gave Mulvey a pedometer. And
That's
were like,
what,
why don't you go? It's a Digimon.
That was the
He
first
like,
ever
okay.
implementation of the Michelle Obama campaign.
Oh,
to have-
yeah.
have
That was her
kids.
early days. Yeah.
They were trying to get you out of those. They were trying to get you out of those big dog shirts as quick as they
Those
could.
husky jeans.
They couldn't. They were on me, baby.
Husky jeans.
Okay.
They were strapped tight.
This one, man, oh man. Going to sleep, watching George Lopez, waking up to Saved by the Bell. That was like
okay.
So
my
many times.
entire
So
middle
many
school
times.
career. That's what it was.
I would say for me it was waking up to George
Yeah,
Lopez,
like
the dum, dum, dum,
waking
dum,
up in a
dum,
cold
dum,
in a
dum.
cold sweat to Lowrider.
Confused. Oh man, and him just doing the jumping like
Yeah,
into
the slow
air.
motion. Yeah, it would be
That's
like
one of the
2
best
in the
shows ever
morning,
made,
and
dude,
you
I
would just
swear.
catch a calf cramp to Lowrider and be like, "Oh, what's going on?" That. All right, that's my number 2. For number 1, I've got the blue and purple zigzags on cups and stuff.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
like
that,
from your
dude.
gas station cups.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or like
Those are
the
fire.
neon lights, like in skating rinks and bowling alleys that had like the
Neon was
the
hot in
purple
the
and
90s.
blue. Yeah.
And the ones from the like the ones that are on the shorts that all the douchebags wear now.
Yeah, they came back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
they came back.
They tried to bring them back, but they don't hit the same. as
But
they
it's
did
still a
back then.
sweet pattern.
Oh
I
yeah,
wonder
Like-
why that pattern became like popular. Why is it popular?
It's just sick. I think it's just
hard.
sick.
hard body
That's what I'm
karate.
saying.
baby.
Like, because also remember when vehicles used to have that like mint green color? That color is not available anymore. Like, mint
Yeah.
green GMC.
Imagine being the guy
trucks.
that came up with the purple and blue zigzag pattern, though. Like, did he ever work another day in his life?
Can't
Probably not.
have. It was on
He
everything.
got royalties off of it. If he
Yeah,
got
like-
1%.
Yeah.
Like, what is
they're
it-
still
what's the
making cups
equivalent?
with that.
What do you think the equivalent of that is in 2022? Like a design that we're like, this is gas, and then 10 years from now we'll be like, that was on everything. Everything's white now.
Yeah,
guess.
everything's real simple.
Yeah, everything's like neutral colors now.
Yeah,
Maybe Carhartt, dude. Honestly, like if you have
Yeah.
Carhartt on, like everyone's got something
Maybe.
Carhartt, you know? Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's a
I don't know.
brand. It's a little different.
yeah. I don't even know. If
I
that's
would
the
say that
equivalent.
was a brand that, like, I knew I had an icy in my cup.
True.
If I had that.
That's true.
You know, something tasty was coming down your gullet.
You were getting some Docky PP or something,
Yeah, some 23 flavors.
some Peebus.
Yeah, for sure, Peebus.
Good deal, dude. There's a bunch of honorable mentions. One of the honorable mentions that I had was just commercials, like commercials for
Yeah.
toys.
When it wasn't all drug commercials.
Yeah.
Yes,
was
it
actually
wasn't
just
like
fun stuff.
yeah, it was fun stuff you wanted. That and then the old Dr. Pepper bottles that were like that had like the or the Mr. Pibb that had like the creepy guy on it. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was Mr.
Gray Man.
He was aspiring to be a doctor, but he never could be.
Mr. Pibb is better than Dr. Pepper. I'll say that.
At a movie theater, it's the best drink that's ever been made.
It's true. Yeah. I only drink it at movie theaters. So.
Well, you have you have a suede taste of it because if you buy it in a bottle, it's far different than a movie.
I think it's the only soda that I've had in the last 4 years. Is at the movies, I would get a Mr. Pibb and share it.
Cannot say the same. So. Absolutely cannot say the same.
Same. Yeah, I'm drinking Coke Ceros on the daily.
Yeah, I'm on a DP0.
I mean, if you count the copious amounts of energy drinks that are giving me kidney stones every minute of the day, then probably those count.
Do y'all ever drink an energy drink and your back hurts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you just know.
Like the bottom of your back is just like your organs are
I can
failing.
Feel like the calcified, whatever it is.
Your body's actively rejecting it,
Yeah, whatever that super creatine is in bangs, it's banging up my organs.
Your system, I can't drink bang anymore, dude. 300 milligrams in one sitting is too much.
All right, boys. Well, good show.
Good one. Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a banger.
Number 11.
Cam, what you got for us?
So to end, I'll just say Polina Esetinskaya, which is Russian for cue the outro music.
Okay.
That's the winner right there, baby.
I think that one went better than our DJ Khaled one, I'll be honest.
That one was bad.
It's tough.
The delivery was tough. I think you got to be a person for that one.
Yeah,